people that fly a Gadsen flag and a Back the Blue flag should have their heads examined. I don't even know how to react to people like this. I see it quite a bit. I love the Gadsen flag. I fly a Gadsen flag. And I don't even have necessarily a problem with the police per se. But a person that's flying both of those flags has to recognize that the entity that's going to come and tread on you are going to be those boys in blue. When I see people flying those two flags, it's almost as troubling as seeing a flag that says Trump 2024 Save America. I'm seeing that a lot. In fact, I saw it quite a bit this weekend when I was at my local county fair. You know, my local county fair is probably just like the one in your town, wherever you live. I happen to live in a kind of Republican stronghold in a pretty decent state. So, you know, I'm in friendly territory. But when I walk up to the county Republican Party table, to kind of check in and see what they have, and the guy asked me if I want to sign an impeach Biden petition, I looked at him like he had a hole in his head or something. I said, why would I sign this piece of paper? It has as much value as me putting my finger in the air and signing my name. It's not going to happen. And even if it did, what would be the consequence of it? He goes, but it'll make you feel better. And I said, I don't need to feel better. I need to feel like I need to live in a country where my rights are preserved. That's what I need. I don't want to feel good about backing somebody. So, you know, I had a nice conversation with him. As I said, it's, you know, friendly territory. Kind of like having a disagreement with a relative or something. But, you know, I made my way around the fair, and sure enough, there were lots of other folks that were wearing the Trump 2024 gear, and I was like, wow, where are they getting all this stuff? And sure enough, there was like kind of a pavilion in the middle of the fair that had a bunch of T-shirts, and it had all the normal MAGA stuff and the, you know, the F Biden and the whole not my president, all that other stuff, you know. And I thought to myself, boy, this place, I wonder where that stuff is made. It's not made around here, that's for sure. I wonder if it's made in China. And I didn't really have the time or the motivation, honestly, to go over and check the label. I didn't really need to, because as I looked into the pavilion, I saw the person or people selling the material, and it was an Asian woman, most likely Chinese, and a man, and they were fine, and they were you know, they were selling stuff, and they were counting their money, and you know, life was good. God bless them. So we have MAGA people running around hoping, bitching and moaning that Biden screwed the pooch, and that Trump is going to come back and save America, and I'm supposed to be happy about this? I'm supposed to be happy about feeling like the place that I live is about to be assaulted again by an occupying power? And yes, I say it just that way. It's an occupying power. A power, an entity that is not oriented to protecting your rights, my rights. And until we mount a proper opposition, it's not going to change. I'm starting to see little glimmers of it. I'm starting to see little snips of resistance at the school board meetings, which is nice to see. However, I'm seeing a lot of not pushing back also. And I'm also seeing a lack of an organized effort. And I don't know if it's because people are all freaked out after the October 6th selfie stick revolution or what the deal is, but the reality of it is that it's just not materializing. And, well, I mean, maybe things just need to get really, really bad before they do. I guess Americans are just too nice. We all are just too damn nice. You know, go along to get along. Until we lob bombs on people from far away, then we're not so nice. But when it's up close and personal, we don't really have the heart for it. We don't really have the heart for it, sad to say. But I'm seeing little glimmers of hope among lots of really not gloom and doom. And I'm hoping that the wave coming in is not going to be wrapped up as a sinkhole known as Donald Trump. I hesitate to go negative on Donald Trump because I know some people like him. And I know that in some ways it gave some people something good to hang their hat on. But I just, you got to kind of look at the record. He didn't do much. People weren't arrested. Walls weren't built. Huge $1 trillion stimulus plans were set. And the infection from Asian-speaking nation and the warp speed that the solution was put into place was done under his watch. So I just want to remind people of the record. The record is not good. Snowden was not pardoned. Criminals were pardoned. So be careful where you're putting your hope. Be careful how you're resisting, how you're defying, how the civil disobedience occurs. We are in for it this fall. We're in for it. The schools are lining up with the mandates. The workplaces are lining up with the mandates. Government services are lining up with the mandates. We had a judge in New York State deny bail to a guy until he got the jab. Before he can go to trial to prove his innocence or guilt, he's got to get a jab. So remember, that Second Amendment is, as Guns Coast to Coast said, reminded us in his post this morning, it's not for hunting. It's not for putting holes in paper. It's for putting holes in other things. We all know what's going to need to get done eventually. We all know it. We can all feel it in our bones. It's as clear as crystal. The question is how that happens, the steps that it takes. So, if you haven't done so already, as I've been harping, make sure that you are as independent as possible, that you have your gear together, that you have your food and water together, that you have your community together, that you've created your freedom cell. And remember that who you invite in that freedom cell should understand who the real enemy is. The real enemy is not just Biden. The real enemy is not just Democrats. The real enemy might be the person you're buying a t-shirt for. That t-shirt that was made in China, that put an American worker out of employment. Be conscious of where you're buying stuff. Be conscious of where you're putting your money. Be conscious of how you resist. It is important to resist, but make sure you're resisting the right things, with the right people, in the right way. It is important to look at the label where you get your shirt. And more importantly, what does that shirt say? I'm sure hoping that people are getting this message. I'm sure hoping that people are getting organized and getting mobilized to make differences in their world, because it is about to get real here in the United States of so-called America. We're already seeing it in other countries. We're already seeing it in a dramatic way in Australia. In Canada, our northern neighbor has already told people publicly that the opposition is wrong, that they don't have the right to travel on the same buses and go to the same restaurants as the jabbed. The medical apartheid has already begun, and the medical apartheid will be used as leverage to lock people down over and over and over and over again until free people assert their freedom. Keep your eyes open, your ears to the ground, and get busy. Get busy doing it. Thank you for spending a little time with me. Stay free. Stay free, my freedom fighter friends. We can do it, but we got to do it with each other. And if you're not doing it, get to it. Have a good one.